One, two, three, four, five. Okay, guys. So this video will be about comparison of the Sony Alpha a6600 and the 6700 menu system. I'm not gonna go through each and every menu item to explain it. That this video is not about that. It's just a comparison video about the new menu system, basically what they changed. Uh, like I said it probably many times before, and I will say it again. I don't think that the 6600, I just call it 67, I mean 66 and 67. I don't think the 67 is an upgrade camera in any sense. I think it's a brand new camera. It's just a totally different camera. So don't think of it as a small upgrade, a small modification, because everything about it, with a very few exception, basically a brand new and a totally different camera. The sensor is different, the body is different, the ergonomics are different, the buttons are different, the entire thing, everything is different. The video is different. There's so many things different that simply there's no comparison. The viewfinder is probably the very few things that's the same and uses the same battery, but again, the battery life is different. Everything is different. So, as such, let's just see it visually side by side. These are not images, but I actually connected both um, cameras to my computer to this program so I can demonstrate it live. As you can see, one, and on the right to the 67. I just call it 67 because I don't want to see every time 6700, 6700, blah blah blah. It just lasts forever. So 67, okay? Okay, so basically, what I can tell right away is the 67 has a lot more menu items. Now, a lot of people say that, oh, thank God they changed the menu on the 67 because the 66 was bad. I wouldn't call it bad. I wouldn't call it bad. I just call it um, traditional. Okay, this is what most menu systems are. In not just this, there are several cameras, and there's nothing horrible about it. They just try to make it simple. However, since we have very limited real estate in this screen, it's very difficult to put all the features and all the options there without uh, causing a lot of confusion. In this instance, for example, it's on number one, the shooting mode. On the left side, the 6600, you can see at the bottom a whole bunch of little dots. Those little dots indicate pages. So we're talking about 14 pages of settings. Okay, so that's what makes it kind of confusing and complicated. So if we go through right here, let me try. You see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4. All these with all their options and features and everything, just for one menu item. And you have to go through each and every one of them. Now, what I dislike about the 6600 is, for example, let's say I roll through one by one. Now, when I reach the bottom, uh, then I would expect that if I want to go down again, it would go automatically to page 2, but it won't do that. So I have to manually press the right button side to go there, and the right side again to go there, and then go down to the particular menu item. Because if you don't, you just end up at the top. Now, that's one way to go through the main categories, right? But it can cause confusion because there are so many things, so many items, so many features. On the 6700, 67, as you can see, they did something different. So basically, this is what you see here going down on different categories. And what they changed is changed the system from vertical to horizontal. Okay, now that's a smart move. It's a smarter menu. Why? Because if you basically resize the menu items, you can see the font sizes are much, much smaller on the 67, right? All those little letters and everything. Um, I bet they worked their butts off to try to fit everything here. Why? Because basically there are a lot more, even more items on the 67 than on the 66. Now, how could you possibly organize in this system? It's impossible because it would be instead of 14 pages, probably 16, 17 pages, and even more for each and every of the main categories. So what they did was instead of going vertical, let's go horizontal. And basically, when you open one particular setting, you can already see on the right side the subsettings within that category. Now, what you see, however, is not everything. So there are seven, two, four, six, seven. You can see seven items on the right side, right? But there's a lot more than that. As you can see, let's go through 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 settings within one category. You see? And this is just one page. Now try to imagine if you on the left side of the 66 we have the 14 pages indication, right? 14 pages, it took 14 pages. With this, it takes 14 or so many items, a whole bunch of more items just to go through one single main category, which means it would have been impossible, virtually impossible to organize all these options and all these features and all these settings of the 67 with the 66 menu. That's why they changed it. However, as you can see, the fonts, the letters are much, much smaller. Okay, so I don't think it's all that better. It's just it was a necessity. I think it was a necessity because you see, 13 items within one category with their sub items. Next one again, two, three, four, five, six, seven, and then eight, even more, nine. So nine subcategories within the main category, which with their own sub items, and there are so many of them. Would have been impossible to do it with this. That's the I think the bottom. It's not smarter. It's not better. It's just the only option they had left to make it happen. I mean, otherwise it would have been an incredibly messy, never-ending encyclopedia of settings. So that's the reason why they made it like this, because it's a virtual impossibility. It's just too much. The same with as you go through. Okay, I like this color indications for the various themes because it helps you a little bit to get familiarized with the options. Uh, Here you can only see a little bit of coloring at the top, but nothing major, nothing of the sort like on the 67. But again, you have the My menu, this option, where you can organize and set your own most important settings that you prefer to be available right away. So even though there are so many things to set, you can still figure out how to organize your own favorites or the ones that you need the most. And the same with the 67. But in the home, in the main settings, you can already reach and change a lot of things right there. And it's different for photo and different for video. So you have to go through your settings individually and then customize it according to your own liking. Now, what you guys have to understand is these are extremely sophisticated cameras. Okay, it's not like the good old days you set a couple of things and that's it with the film, or maybe the very beginning of digital photography with only a few things. These are very sophisticated, and there are reasons because these features, these new things are on demand. Okay, now I'm gonna go through the menu items quickly on the 6700. I'm not gonna explain anything. I'm not gonna stop and show everything and attach comments to everything. Just as a demo, if you want to slow it down or interested in something, please just stop the video at that time. Best if you guys watch it in full screen. So this is the main menu with all these items. Then we go to imaging, and I'm gonna scroll through the items one by one. There's gonna be a whole bunch of them. Lots of settings. Some available only if you set it to um, manual mode. Some available only in aperture or shutter priority or video mode. So you have to go through each and every one of them, and please take your time to get uh, familiar with your camera. These are again very sophisticated equipments. That's why there are so many things to set, and the brand wants to make sure that you have all the options in the world to customize and bring the best out of your particular equipment according to your own specifications, working in your own environment the way you want it. That's why there are so many. Look at that. It just seems like a never-ending uh, line of options and features and everything. So again, the reason behind it is because these cameras are so amazingly advanced. Look how many items. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. As you can see, for example, on the top it says 48, but it's not like 49, 50, but 48 main categories, and after that, the subcategories. Look at that. Dozens and dozens and dozens. Lots. Of, I don't know exactly how many, but a lot of them. And now back to the main where you can set your own. On the 66, we have a lot, as you can see. I'm going to go through quickly on that as well. But not even nearly as many. Oops, let's go back to 5. I'm doing it with my left hand, so not much room here. 7, page, 8, 9, oops, 10, 11. Sorry about that, guys. I'm doing it with my left hand, and I'm right-handed. So sometimes I don't really feel the buttons. Okay, 14. Now we go. Option number 2, 9 pages. So the 66, I don't think this the menu system is horrible at all. I think it's just different. Visually, it's easier to read. Oops, back to 7, 8. You see, it shows lots of customizations options and everything. So the 66 is an amazing camera, I think, for all of its features and capabilities. It's just a 67. There's a 4-year uh, difference between the two camera. So obviously, during those 4 years, Sony guys were working hard to impress the next generation of photographers with all the latest features and bring out something unique, number 4. Sometimes I jump over a page. 6, 7, and reset, and my menu. So that's all for the 66. As you can see, the 67 has a lot more, and I'm talking about a lot more settings options. And that's the reason why they're just different. And that's why I said that it's not so much of an upgrade of the menu system. It's just totally different. It's a totally different, a lot more items on the 67. And yes, they needed extra space, needed to reorganize stuff, and this was the one and only options to do. Otherwise, it would have been a gigantic mess of the 66 type menu system. But nonetheless, the 66 is not bad, it's not horrible. And yes, you should spend a little time, even, a couple of weeks or something, to read up on the individual settings and research, use the user manual, read the user manual, experiment, go online, watch a couple of videos, tutorials, etc. Not necessarily from the top photographers, videographers, because they talk so much technology that it's confusing. They try to impress you, like, look how smart I am. I know all the details of the details of the details. That's not practical, okay? The truly great photographers, in my experience, the ones I happen to know or met or came across or watched their videos or, I believe they're great, are the ones who simplify things. Okay, so all these items are not there to be adjusted and modified all the time. They're just there for a wide range of audience and users. And like I said, some people do wedding photographies, photography, others studio, others landscape, others street or live photography, concert videos, or whatever it is. So many things, photojournalistic work that I prefer doing. Um, and for those things, you need different options, different settings, and different things because they are different environment. That's the whole point, guys. So these are the comparisons I wanted to show you. And yeah, the 66 is I think it's a little bit rougher and not that sophisticated. But again, the 67 is so sophisticated because otherwise it would be an encyclopedia of maths. Okay, so that I don't think it could have been organized properly. So they cut up, changed from vertical to horizontal, and this is really solved the problem of so many new things and options and features and settings. So now let's jump into another area, the scene selection. Basically, on the 66, you have all the basic things that you need: portrait, sports action for high speed, macro, beautiful landscape, sunset, night scene, more challenging for low light photography, various options, and time motion, blur, and that's it. They are very, very good. If you're just starting out, I highly recommend using these scene options. Don't be ashamed. Don't feel like you're a noob because you are a noob. Okay, if you're a newbie, there's nothing wrong with that until you understand the settings and the technology and the reasons for all those different settings. Just use these, okay? Or if you don't want to get into so detailed knowledge and accumulating all that knowledge and get deep into the technical aspect of photography, just want to enjoy it, these settings are for you. So there's nothing wrong with them. Now, on the 67, they created a new option called Intelligent Auto. And the reason for that is because the 67 has an artificial intelligent chip inside. So it tries to figure it out what you want. Okay, if that doesn't satisfy your uh, demands, you can just go down, and all the similar items are available: portrait, sports action, macro, landscape, sunset, night scene, night portrait. So, yes, everything is here for you. Again, don't be afraid of using them because they are incredibly good, very simple, and they are made and set the camera for purpose. The next thing I wanted to show was the subject detection. Now, the 66, you have two very simple options: human and animal, and that's it. So basically, the camera can focus on either the animal or the human subject and track him or track the subject accordingly. On the 6700, due to this new AI, artificial intelligence chip, they made it much more sophisticated, and even not just there are more options like human, animal, or bird. Another regular animal, bird, insect, car, train, airplane, but within those categories, additional features. So, what kind of tracking you want? So, you see how much more sophisticated the whole thing becomes. Whether it's good or a bad thing, I don't know. It, I guess, only the users can determine how it worked out for them and how it actually worked or didn't work for them. But there are a lot of interesting options on the 67 that basically the result of 4 years of development in artificial intelligence system integration basically into the new system. So that's one thing that the 67 has, the 66 does not, or has its a basic features, a basic option. In my experience, I didn't shoot all that much with the 66, but my experience was overall very, very positive. Okay, so is it all necessary? Well, if you're an animal or wildlife photographer, obviously you would prefer these options, and I'm sure they deliver. So yeah, but again, I don't think the 66 is bad at all. It's just the 67 has the AI chip and more sophisticated tracking features. That's it. Now we're at the function menu items, and the only difference I can see is that for some reason the 67 has a little bit of a narrower appearance. The 66 goes edge to edge, as you can see. The 67 stops, and there is some empty space for some reason. I don't know why. Uh, but that's the only thing I can see different. And yeah, you can organize your stuff again, different for photo and video settings, and you can customize the most important things you want to be available here. I would recommend spending again some time researching before you decide what you put there, because and also just go out and experiment or start shooting, and you'll figure it out that, oh, this is what I need there. And in addition to your custom buttons and the custom settings on the main dial, you can also set up things here as well as on the 67, your own the main menu. Plus, both of them have the custom menu items. So I mean, it's basically, if you can't figure it out, then it's your fault, because they both provide incredibly good options and many different options for customization that everybody can find and organize the most important features to adjust on the go, in the fly, as you go along, as the circumstances require as a photographer, videographer. So yeah, you should definitely spend a little time and change whatever order you want. Every single one of these little blocks can be customized and put whatever you want there in the order you prefer. So yeah, go into that and set up your equipment according to your best specifications, the best demands, and the best way you like them. And again, I've seen professional photographers recommending certain settings. I completely disagree because their equipment and their settings and their style is very, very focused on their own individual works, which may not fit your style or your requirements. So again, don't overdo it. I usually again simplify things, but for example, if I have a certain item in a custom button or easily achievable or easy to to change and easy to reach in the touch screen on the 67, then obviously I don't want the same item here just one more time. So that's why there are so many slots here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 slots, a dozen slots for you to customize and just figure it out and find the best options you need that you regularly use and need, not the ones that just be there for nothing. If you don't use them regularly, then they're there for nothing. And please remember that in the back of your camera, you have the left, right, up, down uh, menu options in the main menu, in the main screen, which can also be customized, and they already provide quite a few options from ISO settings, for example, etc., etc. And just set up your system to the largest possible variety of features to be available, and set them according to your own priorities. What's the most important things? What are the most important things? Secondary the secondary and the third level that also uh, good to have them there, and the rest you will find in the menu system basically. That's how you should organize your priorities and the most important features and functions to be available for you right there and then. And that is all for now about the two cameras menu systems. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.
It's